Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Civil Gore Podcast. I'm your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And Tim, I just want to tell you officially, even though I think you knew this already, I believe in Joe Hendry.
Nice.
Have you seen that? I know you don't watch wrestling, but you had to seen that. Like,
Yeah,
go around, right?
Yeah, I saw that whole thing.
Yeah. It's amazing, this guy. And he's not even in not even in like a major he's in like the TNA league, but he comes through WWE like next program, but I guarantee you he's going to be at the Royal Rumble for WWE. He's too popular. And it's so funny because there's literally a page on Instagram where it's just called the Daily Joe Hendry, where it's just playing his video every day. And then they put him in weird, there's other sites that do this, where there was one guy in Walmart on the security camera and he positioned himself in front of it and did the whole thing. It's like, this is the most viral thing that's
I know. It's even as a non-wrestling,
yeah.
I don't want to call myself a non-wrestling fan because I love wrestling.
Because you and Kev go to those gym shows. You go to the hardcore stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
You go to wrestling. That's what
I go to straight wrestling at the National Guard Armory.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely a wrestling fan. It's just I don't keep up with it. So I'm not I'm very casual in that regard. But I had heard of it.
Yeah, no, I got back into it a couple of years ago, so it's pretty fun. And actually, it's funny, they had horror and wrestling go together, and they, like I told you, there's that Wyatt Six group now that the really leans heavy on the horror and creepy things. But then there was a thing yesterday, it was on a Universal Horror Nights page and I forgot that one year they had The Undertaker had his own house at Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so when we went to the Armory, we had a guy named Papa Stro, and he was the horror guy. He would come out.
That name? I know that name. I think I've seen him.
He's kind of. I mean, I guess he's semi-famous in wrestling, at least the local circuits. But he carried a stick with a baby doll, like a gothic horror baby doll.
I totally seen him. Yeah, because I don't know if he ever made it to major promotion, but he's one of those indie guys that everybody kind of knows, I think.
Yeah, he was he was the headliner indie guy whenever we would go. He was the main guy. I think I met him a couple times. He was cool. So
yeah, well, yeah, no, that would actually be a cool. You know what we need to do? That should be a good one of those evergreen shows. One time we should just record one an off-topic thing about wrestling and horror or something, or where horror is and other things, because that one really because there's a lot of history in mix with that. So interesting how they combine. But anyway, now that I threw off way off topic instantly on this show, but I was just watching the Joe Hendry thing came on a few minutes before we recorded, so I had to it's fresh in my head.
So this is our October Discmemberment. As you guys know, in the years past, October is just packed with horror Blu-rays, and this year was no exception. We had about 55 releases. But as you guys know, over the past couple months, we've been trying to scale back the Discmemberment and not go through every single title in gory detail and read every extra and read every synopsis, because it was just making the episodes way too long. An episode like this with 55 titles, for us to go through everything, would have probably taken 3 epidations to do. Yeah, honestly, we just don't have the time. No, we don't have the time. It's not.
Yeah, honestly, is it really worth it for you to hear us just prattle on? I mean, we're not going to skip a film historian ever, but really, to go through 55 titles and you're just hearing and radio spots, slip covers, I mean, for everything.
Stuff that you can go read yourself. But so what we decided to do a couple months back, and we're still kind of tweaking this, so I'm trying to tighten it up every time we do it, is we're really featuring the titles that we think are, we used to have a pick of the week, and we would pick one title that was our pick of the week. I would say the featured titles that we talk about each week in this new revamped Discmemberment are all kind of worth your time.
Kind of multiple picks of the week anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of multiple picks of the week. But at the same time, we have another, we're going to go through, we'll have a brief mention of steelbooks and reissues that are just really don't require any kind of time at all, because they're literally just a steelbook edition or a reissue. And then we have a segment called Best of the Rest. And Best of the Rest for the week is like the titles we're not going to talk about in depth. Doesn't mean they're not worth your time. They might be actually be very good titles.
Yeah.
And in fact, I had to put some very good titles that I almost wanted to talk about into the
And there's a
Best of
good
the
chance
Rest.
I'll probably have ordered it too.
Yeah. But those are ones that I didn't feel like the amount of extras really necessitated talking through them completely in depth, but they're still great titles. So you're going to hear every title that's released for October.
Yeah.
It's just we're going in a little bit more in depth for the featured ones.
And bottom line, we're not going to ever deprive you of like the marquee title, like no matter
Yeah,
what. Like
yeah.
it will be mentioned somehow, so you're not going to like miss anything. It's just
No,
they're
exactly.
becoming too long, and I rather dedicate the content to like to spread around the content basically, and the time we spend.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Exactly.
Ideally though, eventually, what I'd love to do is when we. I mean, probably, I could see it maybe for, like, saving it to start, like, next season off so we have time to prepare, but I'd love to do, like, a video thing where we just, like, maybe do, like a few-minute video where we just show the cover art or something and put it on our YouTube channel to kinda get that going more. I
Yeah,
know we
well, I
keep
think we could do
saying
it.
that stuff. Yeah, it's not
Because
that
now that
bad.
we're using Riverside, we have video recording capability. So I
Yeah.
think we could just take this video, and then when we go in and edit, you could just pop the cover art as we're talking about certain titles.
Yeah,
Be
and
pretty
I kinda
easy.
wanna make, like, more like, also mini videos of when I actually get these releases and stuff go through. I wanna do some unboxing, like, when I get that Hell House set in the mail, which oh my god, some of the Umbrella showed a picture of the box to it. It's like this big, like oh, wait, there. It's like this
Oh,
tall. It's like those Eurocrypt things, 'cause I think there's a big book in there.
nice.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
That'd
no,
be
I have
fun. We need to do our get our TikTok going again.
yeah, that too. We really gotta well, it's funny, I was listening to so it was interesting. So Emma from Spooky Chicks, I was listening to their latest episode today, and she's in digital marketing, and she actually was saying, say they was funny, they were joking back and forth, but she was saying because I think Allie was making fun of her because she said TikTok, and she goes, "No, I'm in digital marketing. That's like the new Google now, because
Yeah.
people will look up on TikTok things, and it's almost more than people. If you ever look, you Google something, right? YouTube kind of has the priority because it's connected." But if you go direct to TikTok and you Google something, you're gonna get kind of the same thing, like a how-to or an answer to something, and it's gonna be on TikTok. And, it's funny, it's like technically that's as soon as that starts becoming more of a known thing, I guarantee you're gonna see TikTok not be cool anymore, and all
Yeah.
the kids are gonna be going off it and find something else.
I mean, with
Just
my
like when they
kids, they live TikTok. I mean, they
Yeah.
live for it. So I know
Yeah.
like and the crazy thing, like Anna has posted videos that are just so silly. I mean, just dumb,
Yeah.
random stuff, and some of them have gone viral. Like they've
Yeah.
gone, she gets like not like crazy millions, but I'm talking about like thousands of views, which is crazy if you think about it. I mean, imagine if we just do one video and it gets thousands of views,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
and even a fraction of them tune into the podcast.
Yeah. Well, and you know what's crazy? So two quick things. So one, there's this one guy like on I think I sent you one of his things. I think because I said, oh, this was like Ken at the breakfast thing that time with where
Yeah.
like the where this guy literally all he does, his whole account is he takes like a Dairy Queen or whatever he eats and just goes and he takes a bite, and then he'll take a bite of a sandwich and go and I'm like, this is all this guy do. You look at his video, it's like 6,000 videos of just that on his Instagram.
Yeah. It's
But he
crazy.
must be making something off it for him to even waste the time, right? And
Yeah.
the same thing with like you see things on YouTube, these people, and I'm like, my friend Mark and I never even showed this to you, Tim. I need to show it to you once though. We need to actually maybe I should bring it when we all go to when we all finally our text feed gets together here, where it was like my friend Mark and I in high school when we took our television production class because it basically spawned into like 2 hours of us doing stupid stuff in front of the camera and all this stuff. And people used to love us watching the video. I'm like, and every time I send a weird video to him, I'm like, do you realize how ahead of the time we were? If there
I
was a
know.
YouTube back then when we did this crap, we'd have been like millionaires, literally,
Yeah.
because it's like better than half the stuff you see today that's making money, And I'm
It's
like, what the hell?
crazy. It's completely crazy.
It really is. But anyway, once I got us back off track, but let's get back on track here. So because
All right.
Tim and I both have lots of stuff I got to pack because we're leaving for Halloween
Yeah.
Horror Nights as we're recording this. So we need to, yeah. So we need to get things going And I think
All
we're
right.
starting off with a good one.
Yeah, we're starting off with a good one. So this is the releases for October 1st. We had one only. This was a very low week. I mean, October starts off very quietly.
Well, you know
We all,
why? I think because it's like it just kind of sneaks in there on a like
yeah,
October 1st is literally on a Tuesday, so that kind of people
yeah,
probably like you're still like as far as I'm concerned, the first day of the month, it's kind of like you're just still kind of getting over the last month.
yeah. You're
Yeah,
kind of
it's
still.
like
This is still kind of like it feels like hybrid September here.
yeah, yeah.
But the
I
first one,
like that. That's a good term, hybrid September. You need to
this one is
you need to like trademark that, Tim.
yeah, yeah.
Hybrid September.
This one though was that's actually a pretty good release from Kino Lorber. It's a movie called Burn Witch Burn from 1962. I mean, they loved making movies about women getting burned at the stake back then. The 60s, that
Seriously,
sounds
you
like a
know,
big thing. Successful sociologist Norman Taylor is dismayed by his wife Tansy's magic charms, which she insists ward off evil. When he burns them, his disbelief is tested by dreadful misfortune. And this is a remake of a movie called Weird Woman from 1944.
the
That's kind of a
title weird one.
problematic title, but okay.
Yeah, I mean,
It was
well,
1944.
well, I mean, I guess if today we have weird GOP candidates, we could have weird women back then. I guess I don't know
I
what
guess.
the. Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
Yeah, there's definitely it's amazing though, where not to get to change like to like a social statement here, but you know, like Kim and Ket always talk about it. You know, when they do an '80s film, it's amazing how you could see how just the culture advanced through a horror movie.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like horror
definitely.
more than any other genre, I think really like portrays just the problematic behavior at the time. And I think that's maybe why horror used to get, you know, maybe how it still, you know, got that bad rap at one point and how it made people feel like they were, you know, off. But, yeah, I mean, but also to begin with, that's how horror became so awesome at the same time. But for that, like, because you got your core group of friends that liked horror. And I'm not saying they liked it because of the misogyny and the mistreated. I'm just
Yeah,
saying that I was trying to make 2 points, I think, in one statement, and that didn't work well. But you know what I mean, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, but have you noticed that though? How you could tell like how well, and actually the comedies too, I guess, like straight up comedies, like what they go with. But you know, but it's crazy, but like a title like Burn Witch Burn and a Weird Woman, like those titles would never like if it wasn't like a documentary or something, I don't think those titles would fly today, you know? It's like
no, probably not. Probably
but,
not.
you know.
This one has a new 4K restoration, which I'll be glad when they stop putting 4K on the end of all these titles. Like, at one
Yeah.
point, do we just say everything's 4K and be done with it? But
Yeah, like
yeah, new
move
4K
on.
restoration, a new audio commentary by novelist and critic Tim Lucas, and additional extras that were on previous releases. You can
I
go
didn't
look
know there
those
was
up
a
if you want.
previous release of this, but okay.
Yeah. So that was it. That was only our only feature release. Everything else was kind of steelbooks and reissues, except for one box set, which I'll talk about in a second. So I'll let you go through the steelbooks, Brian.
Yeah, so there's two. It's the Blob 4K, and that's the 1988 version, which is I just think it's very underrated
Oh, I love
overall.
the block.
I
I
I
will.
yeah, I
Yeah.
have the Shout Factory version of it, that good one. It's you know, it's you know, it was like yes, I mean, is it the classic from the 50s? No, but like it's a damn good remake. As far as
Yeah.
remakes go, it's probably one of the ones I put in the higher shade because that was a fun movie.
I think it's one
That
of the
was
best
a
remakes. So it's the best horror remakes for sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah, totally. And then, what I still need to see is Imaginary in 4K. I still need to watch that one.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't seen
did.
it
I
yet.
didn't care for this one.
I
I didn't
know you
care for this
said,
one.
yeah, but you know, it's like it's one of those ones I feel like I need to see it, and I mean, I still need to
Yeah. I mean, it's
work on
definitely worth
another 100
watching.
plus movies for
Yeah.
my 366 challenge there. So,
It's definitely worth
um,
watching. I saw it in the theater, but it was just I don't
oh
know. I
right,
had a
you went there,
lot of
yeah,
problems with the pacing. Was really off to me, and the writing and stuff just didn't care for it. You know what? I've been telling you guys I've been wanting to look at the steelbooks at Walmart every time I go in
yeah,
to see what the prices are and everything. My Walmart has zero steelbooks,
really,
zero, none,
that's
and
weird.
I'm like
There's not like a steelbook section anywhere, like
no,
maybe.
nothing. I looked over the whole electronics department. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Because every time I mean, every week there's a steelbook Walmart exclusive coming out. None. My local store has zero.
To go to the bathroom and say, "Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
I co-host a horror podcast. I don't know why I'm doing Coaster Boy voice, but it fits for some reason. Like, and I know that there's several steelbooks that are supposed to be out this week, and I see none on your shelves. Where are they?
Unless somehow steelbooks got so popular, they just sell them all instantly, and I just never see them.
There's like a steelbook hoarder now that goes out there, and he like
it's
just
crazy.
with a giant magnet goes takes all the steelbooks in one shot and brings it up to the register.
We did have one reissue, and when I say reissue, I mean like just a straight reissue of a title that's been out. They just you know how they do it Halloween, they release all these old horror movies from their catalog. So this one is As Above, So Below from 2014, which that one's got kind of like a cult classic.
It does, especially lately. I think even very recently, it's become like
I hear about it all the time. Yeah. So that's a good reissue if you don't have that one. Brian, I'll let you talk about this last one. This is our best of the rest section.
Yeah, this has got to be one of the weirdest.
This is so weird.
Packs of movies. Yeah, so it's called Paramount Scares Volume 2 4K. I didn't even know it was a Volume 1. We must have missed that in a previous dismemberment. But listen to this collection. It starts off with a bang, with a great one. Friday the 13th Part 2. Okay. One of my favorite movies of all time, horror movies. Not just because the lovely Lauren Marie Taylor is in it, but it's always been one of my favorite Fridays anyway. Great horror movie. Obviously makes sense. Then there's Breakdown, which is a good movie, but doesn't really fit. I wouldn't put that as Paramount Scares. Like, yes, it's horror movie. It's one of those thriller horror movies. It can go either way, but still, like, does it, like, would you ever say, let's do a double feature of Breakdown and Friday the 13th Part 2? Never going to happen, right? I mean, and then there's World War Z. Okay, back to true horror again. But again, it's like now you're putting a total crazy zombie movie in with Friday the 13th Part 2 and Breakdown. And then you got Orphan First Kill, which Tim and I are huge fans of. But
I love the movie, but
why? Why is it with that? What weird four-pack? Did they just take is it I could picture the people at Paramount taking every title in their repertoire and just throwing it onto the floor and pick up the first four they get. Say, there's Scares Volume 1.
Here's what I don't
2.
understand. This drives me crazy as a collector. Who would buy this? I would never buy this. Why would I buy
never
this
either? Yeah.
And have a box set of these 4 random movies that I don't even have the other parts to when it comes to Orphan and Friday the 13th. Or not
That's even the weirder part. Yeah, to throw sequels in there. I get.
See it.
It used to drive me crazy enough when it was hi, hey, here's a disc of Friday the 13th Part 1 to 3, and then 4 is just left to the side. And then, what was Scream? Remember when Scream came out? They did Scream 1 through 3, but not 4. And 4 was out at the time. They just didn't bother to do it. They put Scream 1 through 3 in a set.
The only thing I could see is if you're a brand new collector and you're just trying to build your library as cheaply as possible, and you go out and you just buy these box sets, which I used to do back in the day when DVDs first came out. I'm guilty of that. I used to buy the box sets of crazy weird packs of stuff.
I felt like they were at least somewhat connected a little more than these.
Yeah, this is just ridiculous. Other than the same studio, I don't know what.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is maybe they have some kind of deal that they pay for it, and they're like, okay, we need to make our money back on these somehow. They're not selling on their own. Let's just let's just throw them in a 4-pack and just say we sold them or get. I don't know. And you know
weird.
What? Granted, all 4 movies in there are movies I enjoy. I'm not knocking the movie.
Bad movies. No, they're not bad movies.
I'm knocking the why they felt they needed to be in one box set. And this would drive my OCDs crazy. I don't know where I would put this alphabetically. Would you put it under P for Paramount Scares, and then you'd never find it when you're scrolling through. You'd always never see it because it just wouldn't stand out. Because most horror fans already are going to have those in the individual ones. So
I know it's
I just don't see a purpose in my world or your world where we'd buy it. I could see this going to a college maybe for a film school if they just. I don't know. It's weird.
It's so weird. It looks like you would find it at a thrift store.
Yeah, or those really, the gas station ones that are they use the thinnest piece of paper to hold the disc in. I feel like it would be.
This is what you would find at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, exactly. Right next to the knitted checker set. That's
it's the Paramount Scares direct from Cracker Barrel.
Oh
That's
my
fair.
God. I
All
think,
right,
Tim,
so
now you need to do a video going into your Walmart, not finding the steel books, and then locating this, see if they have
yes.
this
Oh my
there.
God. Oh my
You
gosh,
need to do
yes.
that because there's not a Walmart close enough to me where I feel like I could do that easier.
Oh
But I know there's
man.
one close to you, so you should go do
Yeah.
that.
Now I have not checked our other Walmart. We have two Walmarts, and the other Walmart's like the quote unquote bigger one. So I'll have to go check the other one at some point. But it's on the other side of town, so it's not very convenient. So to recap the week of October 1st, we had Burn Witch Burn from Kenny Lorber, 1962. That was our highlighted title of the week. We had and I'm not going to go through the rest of them.
Yeah.
We just talked about those, but
Wait, should we talk about Paramount Scares, the 4-pack? That's
we will talk about Paramount Scares again because it's so stupid.
yeah.
Even though we
Okay,
just
sorry.
talked
Let's
about it.
move on.
All right. Okay, so the week of October 8th had a few more releases we wanted to talk about. 3 big titles this week.
Yeah.
The first one up from Lionsgate is, of
All
course,
3 I need to buy too.
Yeah, these are all big. Maxine from, of course, this year. In 1980s Hollywood, adult film star and aspiring actress Maxine Minks finally gets her big break, but as a mysterious killer stalks the starlets of Hollywood, a trail of blood threatens to reveal her sinister past. This one has 3 featurettes, a Q&A with Ty West, and trailers. So not a big pack disc, but I have not seen this one yet. I'm dying to see it. So
yeah,
this
so
is
good.
definitely one that's on my list to get.
It's a good. That's. I don't know if I wouldn't call this a like slaycation worthy, but we probably should maybe do like an episode on like 3 of these. All 3 of the Ty
Yeah.
West trilogy here. Because this one was like the perfect conclusion, I think. To the way they did. Like I think like it's interesting. Like each of these movies could stand on their own. X Pearl and this. And Maxine, but like I feel like the way the story was going, this is like such a great finale to it. So it's like, yeah, I think you're gonna really like it. And there's some cool elements which I won't. So I'm gonna leave you to surprise, but I know based on your other watch history why you would like this. So
yeah. I know it has a lot of Giallo influence, so
well, yeah, but there's also there's some other like actually real like true crime
cool,
things
yeah.
that have been going on during that time, which you could probably guess if you think about it. And that's included into the storyline. So well done. And plus, let me tell
I'll
you,
definitely like that.
I think this guy like steals most scenes he's in, but Giancarlo Esposito, man, he almost steals this whole movie with his hairpiece alone.
I love him.
Yeah, he's so good in it. Might be my and I love him in everything, but this might be my favorite performance he's done. That's how good he is in this.
Wow.
Definitely one of my favorite like actors. Next one we have another one. It's funny, another third in the series here, kind of, but this goes the opposite way where Maxine kind of capped it off time wise. This one goes back into the prequel of it, and that is Quiet Place Day 1, which Tim saw and said was really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. And of course, we had that little giveaway, which was our most successful giveaway in like Civil War history. There was so much interaction. It was really a fun digital copy giveaway there. And of course, if you don't know the plot, it's a woman named Sam finds herself trapped in New York City during the early stages of an invasion by alien creatures with ultra sensitive hearing. I'm actually looking forward to. They have there's a Quiet Place house at
that'll be
Fahrenheit.
cool.
So
that'll be cool.
It would be really cool if they actually made it so if you stayed quiet the whole time, you got no scares whatsoever. That'd be kind of funny. I don't think it works that way though. So this one just has a couple of things: 5 featurettes and deleted and extended scenes. So
very nice. Yeah, that was a good one. And like I said, I'm not a huge Quiet Place fan, and I still really like this one. So next up from RLJ Entertainment is one that we all love: Late Night with the Devil from last year. Johnny Carson rival Jack Delroy, host of syndicated talk show Night Owls, has long been a trusted companion to insomniacs around the country. However, ratings for the show have plummeted since the tragic death of Jack's beloved wife. Desperate to turn his fortunes around, on October 31st, 1977, Jack plans a Halloween special like no other, unaware he is about to unleash evil into the living rooms of America. And this one has a new audio commentary by Alexandra Heller-Nicholas and Josh Nelson.
We don't know if they're film historians there, though, right?
No, they don't. They didn't list them as film historians. So 5 interviews with cast and directors, behind the scenes and music featurettes, South by Southwest Q&A, 120-page book with behind-the-scenes images and essays, which is pretty cool, and 6 collector art cards. That's a pretty nice little addition.
Big for RLJ. They usually are pretty bare bones.
Yeah.
And for them to release one with a 120-page book,
I think that shows how popular this movie is that RLJ
Yeah,
would put out such a nice edition of this. That
I know. I was all upset that I missed that really like special limited edition one. Usually those things don't get past me, but I think I wasn't like I think I got confused with the releases of when it was out and what it said, and there were so many things going on at that time. Like it was that Hell House, like Time. What's that one? Time Crimes I ordered, and then there was something else I ordered. There's way too many. I have like six. I think like pre-orders coming on oh, the Frogman limited edition one I ordered.
oh
So
yeah,
there's a
yeah,
whole bunch of stuff coming out around the same time that got like announced. And I think I probably I wouldn't be shocked if in my head I thought I ordered it. And then I said, oh, wait a minute, I didn't order this. And I went back and the limited edition one was sold out. So I'm
yeah,
definitely going to get this, which is fine. Honestly, it's okay. I don't think I needed all the extra other stuff there. And I forgot what's coming out in the next couple of, by the end of the year, I'll have the In Search of Darkness, like the
oh
90s.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I did that last year, because anything David Weiner puts out, I'm, obviously going to, you know, uh, help kickstart. So that should be arriving relatively soon. I think the digital one. I think they said it's somewhere in October, November, and then I think I'll have the actual like physical copy soon after. So then, yeah, I guess the next is the bunch of steel books that Tim can't find at his local Walmart.
yeah,
That will
yeah.
those and these are good. These are decent titles. So there's, well, actually, I don't know about the Strangers one. Is that the new? Oh,
That's
that's
the
the
old
old
one.
one.
That's the
Yeah,
old
because
one.
it
Yeah,
doesn't say chapter one. Yeah. Anyway, so it's Sleepy Hollow 4K, which I like. I love that movie. Five Nights at Freddy, which was mixed. It was okay. It was a little too long.
yeah.
Little
It wasn't. I
little.
didn't like it.
I mean, I didn't hate it. I watched it on the plane on one of my trips. I mean, wasn't definitely wasn't as bad as I thought, but it was definitely like I'm like, this is way too long for a movie of this plot. I think I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Um, and then the Strangers 4K, the original, which I really like the original. I still want to see the new one. I don't know why it was
yeah.
remade so fast, but
I still
you
haven't
know,
seen the new one either. Anna won't
yeah.
watch it with me. She has no interest. I don't know why, but
Oh no.
yeah,
But and the sequel's coming out soon too. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, which I need to see. And think about it. Do you realize already, like, or within like a couple of years already, we'll be able to do a whole Poohniverse, what they're calling
yeah.
it,
I know.
like Slaycation. So this thing was the best thing that could happen to our Slaycation schedule because
Yeah,
there's a whole bunch of movies are coming out. But I haven't seen the second one yet. The first one was amazing, so definitely want to see this. Mummy 4K, and this is the 1931 Mummy.
yeah.
That's a
I don't
weird
know how they
steelbook to just
4K those, but
randomly.
yeah, I don't
And like,
really.
why just that one? But
Yeah,
and then Tim, God, Tim made a break. This is Red Tim territory here. This would just watch. This will be the one steelbook they will have for you in there.
yes, yeah.
And that's Halloween Trilogy 4K. We obviously know Red Tim is like as funny as a trilogy progressed. Tim got redder.
It was. It was
On
like
that.
I really loved the first one, and then
Yeah.
Halloween Kills. I was like, okay, but he'll redeem himself in the third one, and then he
Yeah.
just screwed everything up.
You know what? I have a feeling Halloween Kills is going to be the one though that over time you may end up accepting more. But the third one, I just don't think I ever will. Honestly, Halloween Ends. I
Yeah,
know
I
people out
mean,
there love it. I've never. It's so set divisive. The people like love it. People hate it. Like, and that's the two. There's no one that really said like, you know what? It's okay. I
I
don't
hope.
because
I hope one day, and it's probably going to be at least 20 years from now, that I look back on it like I do Halloween 3. And so like I hated Halloween 3 for a long time. I hated Halloween 3.
you
Hated
know
it.
what? Yeah, me too. But I don't think you can. I mean, you may, but not for this. Not in the same style because the difference with Halloween 3 is everyone hated it because it. Well, I guess now this is gonna sound funny because I was gonna say because it flat out didn't have Michael Myers in it. but but like completely didn't have Michael Myers in it. Like
Yeah.
it was not his story, and that was and that turned out to be a whole different its own thing, and that's fine. But this one just tried to do something different, and like I said, I'll go on saying it. What made me so angry is this it the film should have been reversed at some level. You can't you're supposed to wrap up a trilogy and basically somewhat of a franchise after all these years, and then you try all this weird stuff in it. You can't do
I
that
don't
on the
know.
final one
I
like
don't
that.
like when, and I know this is a weird thing to say because I know there's directors have their vision and they got to do their vision, and I understand that, and that's what makes good movies good. Like I mean, Steven Spielberg has a vision. That's why it makes it a good Steven Spielberg movie. But I think
Right.
sometimes a director's vision, especially when they're tackling properties that are already established,
Right.
like Star Wars
Yeah.
or like Halloween, is like you need to put your vision aside and like stay true to the source material to some extent. I mean, it doesn't mean
Right.
you can't be. It doesn't mean you have to be cookie cutter like terrible, but at some point, I don't know, like put your ego and your vision to the side in favor of like a little bit of fan service.
Yeah. Yeah. So one quick thing, and then we'll move off this because I don't really want to. We don't
You
want to
know,
like
yeah,
get
I've got
Tim
my
all
green
red, Tim.
shirt on tonight. I can't be
Yeah, I
red,
know.
Tim.
We want to keep him green, Tim. But what I think what drives me crazy about that, and I agree with your point 100% exactly. It's like you got to keep to the source material, but give your take on it. But like you can't alienate the entire fan base with it. But
Yeah,
here's what the biggest problem I think I have in it, along with and like the character Corey is fine if he didn't become what he became in it. Like I didn't mind him being in there, being this troubled guy that was like,
I
that's
like the
fine.
first
And all
act of the movie. I
right,
mean, I
yeah,
like the first
like
act of the movie.
right. Same with me. Like I thought like it started off crazy and I'm like, oh wow, this is kind of neat there. It's like because it kind of was like at some level it was representing, and this is gonna be a rare positive I say about this movie, but like, it was actually giving a realistic take on what Haddonfield might be like. Like, because look at what
Yeah,
that town has been through the last year. You're gonna be on edge at everything and you're just looking to hate things, right? But if this is supposed to be the finale of Michael Myers, why would you make him this weak, frail thing at this point? He should have, if he's so evil and he's like lasted this long, he should have been at his strongest at the end to battle Laurie Strode in that final battle. Not like someone that like feel like he's like literally got like was living in a like a sewer and taken out by some angsty
but
teen.
and the thing
It's like,
is, they set him up in Halloween Kills as he was this badass. They
yeah.
set him up as being this all powerful badass that could like take on a whole mob of people
Well,
and
literally
survive.
took down a whole mob.
He took
Took an
down a
entire
whole freaking mob, and he's like
uh,
this badass, and then you
yeah,
turn him into like it doesn't. I'm okay if it's like you went against your own story.
yeah. I just don't understand.
I don't
And it's the
understand
same
that
thing
piece
with
of it.
yeah, I mean, because it's like a lot same thing a lot of people have. Like, I know you would say this about the Star Wars, like, sequel trilogy. It's like, why was this not mapped out? You knew you were doing three. Why didn't you map it out? And granted, they weren't sure they were going to do three. Remember, it had to be the success of the first one. But once you knew you got the first one, you knew you were doing two and three. So why
Exactly.
did you? I just don't understand
I
why
don't
you didn't
ever know.
have like a better. 'Cause,
I mean, I
again,
hope
we could go
it's
on this
maybe
forever.
some point I'll listen to the commentary. I don't know if I can ever bring myself to do it, but and he
Yeah.
could
Oh,
explain
well, yeah. I
himself.
mean, I think you might be able to like years from now be able to like just accept it as a bad Halloween movie as opposed to like the
Yeah.
blasphemous thing we think of it as. Some people think of it as now.
I've read articles where they talked about how they were in the writer's room just shooting the shit and not knowing what they were doing. And that's enough for me to be pissed off right there.
Oh my God. Yeah. You tell me that now. And like, I think I'm like going even further in the other opposite way. How do you
So
not
yeah,
do that? I don't
I don't know.
understand.
So anyway,
Forget it.
moving on.
Okay. Yeah.
It just that's all
I
right.
know.
You can't even bring up that movie without me
I
going red, Tim. It just
seriously.
to
Yeah.
this day. So yeah, we got some reissues here. These are just again like these are those titles that the studios just pump out just to capitalize on Halloween. We had Devil 4K from 2010, which is kind of a random title to me.
Yeah.
That's the one about the elevator.
Yeah.
And the Convent 4K from 2000, and then an Us and Get Out double feature, of course, from 2017 and 2019, the Jordan Peele double feature there
Hey,
of
now
Us and
that
Get Out.
makes sense to
That
pair
makes
those
sense.
two
That
together
would be
because
what
you
I'd
got
potentially buy if I didn't have those movies already.
yes, if I didn't have them already each, that's one I would actually consider buying if I had like a more, I mean, probably not right now because of the way my collection goes, but like if I was like a very, like if I was, had an extremely, extremely tight budget and I was like, those are two of my favorite movies over the past bunch of years. So I'm like, you know what? That's a good double feature to get.
Yeah.
You know what? I can only buy a couple of movies a year. Maybe I'm going to make it that one. But and that one at least makes sense because, they're both, they're Jordan Peele has vision. He has things to say and they kind of go, at least that's like the same director kind of thing. And I'm glad,
Yeah.
and it gets bonus points for not packing in Nope in there because I will still go down as saying that is way more sci-fi than horror, but okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the only problem I had with it, honestly, is the marketing of it as made it look like it was gonna be this awesome horror movie, and it was like, again, I didn't hate it. I'm like, okay, this is a really good sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, exactly.
the way I look at it.
When I look back on it, I think my dislike was more because it wasn't what I expected more than the actual movie itself.
Yeah,
Which
I
I
did
have,
the
which I
same.
have to,
Same.
which is that's on me. That's not on Jordan
Yeah,
Peele.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I went in expecting something was
Yeah.
different. I mean, I enjoyed it, so it's like I can't bash the movie because first of all, it would take a lot for me to bash Jordan Peele anything. That guy's is amazing. But okay, and then best of the rest, we got Exuma 4K,
I
Interview with
will
the
say,
Vampires. Oh, you saw Exuma?
I have to talk about Exuma. That's an incredible movie. It's on
That's what's on
Shudder.
Shudder, right? Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but
It's an incredible movie. It is so good. It's one of the best I've watched this year. This was a bare bones disc, no extras on this one, but I don't want to just let it slide as and get lost in the best of the rest pile because it is a fantastic movie that you should definitely put on your list to see. It's really good.
nice.
All right, please continue.
Yeah. Well, the Interview with the Vampire season 2, Killers, which is actually from Synapse Film, and that's got the unrated director's cut with audio commentary. That's a little bonus there. So it's a best of the rest, but it's decent best of the rest there, like in terms of disc. And then there's I Walked with a Zombie and The Seventh Victim. And that's 2 Val Lewin classics with new 4K restorations, audio commentaries, and audio essays. Oh, and it also includes the breakdown Friday the 13th Part 2. War versus no, I'm just
That's a Criterion 2-pack, which is kind of interesting.
Really? Oh, I don't think you rarely see a Criterion.
There's a typo. There's Val Luton, but that's a Criterion disc. And I also want to go back to Interview with the Vampire. That's a phenomenal show.
I know. I gotta watch that show. I
highly recommend it. I haven't finished season 2. I'm halfway through it. Season 1 was incredible, so definitely check that one out as well. So to recap our feature releases this week, we had Maxine, A Quiet Place Day 1, and Late Night with the Devil. Definitely 3 of the biggest horror movies that have come out in the past year. All right, so October 15th, another kind of a mid-range month, I would say. The first one up was from Warner Brothers, which I almost passed this on this one. I almost put this one under the best of the rest, but then I realized it was a 40th anniversary edition of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Why is Warner Brothers releasing it? They didn't.
I don't know.
This was New Line Cinema. It was legendary, known for New Line Cinema, but I guess they don't really exist in terms of distribution anymore. But
I don't know. I don't know how
Warner Brothers is releasing it.
This is this one is I had to. Well, I'm not even gonna read the description of this. So if you're listening to this podcast and have never watched Nightmare on Elm Street, I don't know how much more I can educate you.
Why are you even listening to this podcast if you don't know Nightmare on Elm Street?
And I don't mean to insult anybody that's listening to this and hasn't watched it. I'm just saying go watch it now and then come back and join us. But I had to put this one on the list because there's a brand new 4K remaster of the uncut and theatrical version. So this is a brand new remaster. It has Ready Freddy focus points. I don't know what that is. It's listed as an extra. 2 previously released audio commentaries, alternate endings, and 3 featurettes. So from an extra standpoint, you're not really getting anything that you don't already have if you have this disc. But I did want to put it on here because of the brand new 4K remaster of this movie for the 40th.
Honestly, I saw a non-4K remaster when they first remastered it, like maybe 6-7 years ago, and it looked phenomenal then. So I can't even imagine what a nice 4K one will do.
Yeah, I really want to see this remaster. Like I almost kind of want to get this. I've got the extras and stuff. I may have to get this. Yeah, just for the remaster.
I mean, I have a couple of versions of it already, but still, that's like one of those movies I don't mind. I can keep buying, like that and Friday the 13th. I'll just keep buying until they stop sending them out. Release number 2 is Severin Films, and it's The Demon, aka El Demonio. El Demonio. You know, I feel like from Brian, what's his name? I forgot his real name, but Mark Ratner from Fast Time in My Head. You just don't know Demonio. And they say everybody goes, they say things about Demon. They say it a lot. That whole sequence in it. But never mind. Okay, a sidetrack. This one's from 1963. It says Purif, a young peasant from South Italy, is suspected of being a witch possessed by a demon. Wow, witch and a demon?
A witch and a demon.
What else? What's next? You're gonna throw on a hockey mask and have a claw?
And I'm also
Like
a
on your
werewolf.
Yeah, like a glove full of knives. What's going
Yeah.
on? Anyway, so this one's got some decent things. Got a 4K restoration of the uncut film, audio commentary by critic now, Kat Ellinger. Feature documentary short and trailer.
I think you have to do the meow every time you say
I know
Cat
now that I
Ellinger's name
started
now.
that. Well, we
You
don't have
started
like
it.
because she got grandfathered in, so now I
Yeah.
need to like
You have to do
she needs
something.
to.
Yeah.
I got to do something for her. Yeah.
This one looked interesting. I don't think I'd ever heard of this one. Severin Films is releasing Allison's Birthday from
Yeah, I watched
1981.
this on Tubi like a few years back or
Oh,
something.
really? Okay. A young girl is subjected to a reign of terror so that her soul can be transferred to the body of an old crone. Normally, the old crone's being transferred into the young girl, but
Right? Yeah, why this is
it's
weird
kind
that
of a
you like
reverse
why
thing.
you like this is to me this is kind of like going from an iPhone 16 to like an iPhone
I
8.
know.
What's going on?
This one has a 2K restoration. I guess it wasn't good enough for a 4K. Audio commentary by film scholar, not historian, scholar Lindsay Hallam. Extended interviews with producer and cast, and the Devil Down Under featurette.
Well, I don't know
So
if you watch the trailer for this thing, it's really like poor quality. So I have a feeling it just they
like, there
probably
was
there
no
was
way they
no
could do
way they were gonna
4K.
make this.
Yeah.
They would have to like reshoot it, I think. Next one is and this is actually playing in. It's gonna be playing in theaters
This is
also.
the
So
big release for this week, guys. This
yeah,
is
and
this is the
this
pick
is.
of the
Did
week.
you see that big chainsaw? Is this the chainsaw one where it comes with like a replica chainsaw thing?
I
Like
don't know
there's
if
a version
this
where
one, when I saw this one, it was in a big box. I don't know if it has a chainsaw in there,
yeah,
but it
there's
has a
one
big,
that actually is like it comes with a replica chainsaw box and like it
oh
opens
my
up and it's all
gosh.
that. But we got one, right? You got one. We from one of the
Yeah.
someone sent us one once. Was a
Yeah.
steelbook? Yeah, you got it. And I remember we
Yeah.
got
It's
that.
a,
But this is another one now. This is going to be playing in theaters. This remastered, which is
which I
kind
will
of
go
cool. So
see.
yeah, I would love to see this in the theater. But this is one of those things like you get to see this in the theater, especially remastered and everything. And if you haven't figured it out yet, we're trying to Texas Chainsaw Massacre 50th anniversary edition. 50 years already. Wow.
I know. Well,
Um,
that's what I
yep.
think when this is on my birth
Hmm.
year. And I'm like, 50
Yeah.
years already. Holy
I
crap.
know. Look at you, Tim.
Yep.
Uh, a tale of five friends en route to visit a grave in Texas who end up falling victim to a family of cannibalistic psychopaths. And it's like Tim and I have had fun over the years with Franklin and his knife and the whole
Yeah.
thing, and we play the video game, which I need to actually purchase officially now because now that's off of Game Pass. But there's that new version coming out where he like stalks a dorm room, which I kind of like that it's like kind of like going like into fan fiction territory, like a whole nother like thing.
Yeah. I
Kind of
mean, the
cool.
movie's limited to what they could do. I think it's kind of cool that
Yeah,
they're branching out. I mean, it's a
yeah,
video game. And I will
yeah.
say,
No,
before you read these features, most of the stuff is already available on
right.
probably the versions you own. And there was only two, and they're listed as new when Brian reads them. There's two new featurettes, but most of the stuff you already have. So if you don't have this movie, this would be a great time to jump in and grab it. But
Yeah.
if you already have it, I don't know that this one's going to really, especially if you got the remastered version that
Yeah,
came out
I have like four
recently.
versions of it too, I think.
Yeah.
It's like one of those again, I might just have to get it. But we'll see. It's got four audio commentaries with cast and crew. New, here's one of them, the merchandise of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So that might include the video game now, maybe
Hmm.
some like cool thing, like
The
cool
board game.
board games. Yeah, there's two board games out for it.
Yeah.
Lot of
The
action figures, ton
pinball
of stuff.
machine.
Yeah, I mean, so there's plenty to go there. That'd be actually must be worth it for that documentary, honestly. Um, then there's the new thing is the restoration of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So that kind of tells you about how they restored a movie that's 50 years old at this point. See, I mean, those two documentaries alone may be worth the upgrade for me if I can get it on sale. Yeah, I may wait for
Yeah.
like the Black Friday or Prime Day or something like that again. See, then it's got the Legacy of Texas Chainsaw Massacre documentary, William Friedkin's Toby Hooper discussion of the film, 5 featurettes, 3 interviews, deleted scenes and outtakes, blooper reel, horror, hallowed ground, feature, still gallery trailers, and TV and radio spots. And by the way, if you want to listen to our good friends over at Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks, they just featured this movie and they did a great job on it. They do a really good job for being kind of like, they say they're kind of like new to some of the horror stuff. They do an amazing job on some of the legendary films here. They do a really good day. It's nice to get like a nice youthful like take on some of these older films. It's
That
kind of
we're
cool.
so like, yeah, I think we mentioned that when we interviewed them, or they were on the show, that it's fun to hear people talk about these movies that we've talked about to death and don't
Right,
really know
yeah.
what else to say about it, and then hear it through like fresh eyes. I
Yeah,
love hearing
and
that.
they do a great job, and they have like a great little amount of humor in it, and it's just really fun. I like yeah. So once again, we're giving them another shout out to their
Yeah.
podcast, which is great.
Just one steelbook this week, and that is Thanksgiving 4K from last year, 2023, steelbook version of that.
I like that movie. They're doing a sequel
I
to that.
liked it.
I'm looking forward to
Oh,
it.
good. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that was
I
good.
really like that. Yeah. Next we have for the reissues is Land of the Dead 4K and The Ring 4K.
Yeah, so that's the 2002 Ring, the American remake. That
It's
is,
not
but
Ringu.
yeah, not Ringo. Best of the rest, we had the Fear of the Walking Dead, the complete collection. I don't know how much more I care about the Walking Dead anymore.
Yeah.
But if you want the entire season run, they have that in a big box set. And then another movie called Model House from 2024, but it didn't really have any extras, so I just kind of bumped it in the best of the rest pile.
Yeah,
But
makes sense.
so our releases for this week that we featured were Nightmare on Elm Street 40th anniversary 4K version. That's a new remaster. The Demon, aka Il Demonio from 1963. Allison's Birthday from 1981, and then the big Texas Chainsaw Massacre 50th anniversary edition from 1974.
Yes.
All right, that brings us to October 22nd. We start seeing the releases slowly ramping up, and first one up is, again, these first two are like two of the bigger movies we've seen come out in the last several weeks. The first one up is from RLJ Entertainment. That is Oddity, which I still haven't seen. I'm dying to see this one. It tells the story of the mysterious death of a woman named Danny. While many people suspect the murderer was someone from the local psychiatric hospital, the woman's twin sister suspects something else happened. This one has a behind-the-scenes featurette, storyboard to screen featurette, and the making of the wooden mannequin gallery, which if you've seen the box art, you probably know what that weird wooden mannequin looks like. But I've heard so many people say like this was the first horror movie that kind of really creeped them out this year.
Really?
So I'm dying to see it. Yeah, I've
Is
heard
it
a
on
lot of
Shudder
people.
now or not on yet?
No, I don't think it's on Shudder yet.
Oh, it's
It's
just one of
coming.
these, like-
I'm pretty sure it's coming to streaming very soon, though.
Oh,
I feel
okay,
like
yeah.
it was maybe in October.
Oh, definitely check that. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming in October.
Yeah.
To this year. I mean, there's the new VHS, which looks amazing. A lot of stuff. This is like we're gonna be bombarded the next this month more than ever. And I think it's just horror this year has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Next one we got is another one I'm dying to see. Is Cuckoo. And this is chased by a mysterious woman, 17-year-old Gretchen, who just moved in with her family to an alpine resort after her mother's death. Must uncover a conspiracy to save herself and her sister. Of course, that's the one with Hunter Schafer, who's amazing in what's the oh my god, Euphoria. I was like, I can't remember the name of the show. Euphoria. And it's deleted scenes, behind the scenes footage, and interviews with Hunter Schafer. So there you go.
Nice. This next one I put on here because it just looked kind of cool. This is from Powerhouse Films. It's El Vampiro, Two Blood-Sucking Tales from Mexico. These are from 1957 and 1958. Two Blood-Sucking Tales from Mexico brings together a pair of atmospheric and terrifying classics of Mexican Gothic. So a nice, cool little mini box set here. Has 4K and high-def restorations, an audio commentary with German Robles, 5 interviews with film experts, cast and crew, trailers, galleries, and a limited edition 80-page book with new essays on the film. So it's two Mexican vampire films in that set. I always like those kind of weird, off-the-wall box sets. And
we haven't had any like really bizarre ones. What's that one we wanted? The Adams one or something? It was something Adams, Al Adams. Remember? And they we were so mad that we missed it. And then I even reached out to Severn to find out if they'd ever release it again. And it's like the one set they never re-released.
That was a like crazy underground movies and stuff.
Yeah, we missed that one. That's why I like jump on those crazy ones now when I see them.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna miss that again. The next one is the Wolfman 4K Collector's Edition. This is the 2010 Wolfman that I think Tim and I are the only ones that really like. Well, no, I know that people liked it, but Tim and I will stand on a hill and shout about how much we love this one.
Push people off the hill and defend this movie.
Yes, I loved it. Benicio del Toro was amazing in it. I just loved the look of it. I thought they captured an amazing, cool.
It was an updated Universal Monsters movie. I don't know why people didn't like that. I know.
Just don't get it. Why? What did they have against it? I don't understand. The visuals were great. He was great. And I remember one of the ones one of my earlier Blu-rays that I got, and it looked amazing when I took it home and watched it. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
great. But anyway, it's one we need to do, by the way. We haven't done it actually on the series. Actually, that would make a cool slaycation, remakes of the Universal monster films.
Ooh, that would
Like
be cool. That'd
do
be
the
cool.
Mummy series, even though that's not
Yeah.
true horror, but kind of thing. Like, gotta do something like that, and then especially with the new Dark Universe stuff coming out, like the new
Yeah, that would be
Wolfman.
cool. The new
So
Invisible
yeah,
Man, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so this one's got a decent disc here. It's got a new 4K restoration, new audio commentary by film critic Drew McWeeny. Which, God damn it, why can't he be a historian? Because we just would have been all over there. I mean, just because the guy sounds like a new item at McDonald's, it's okay. Whatever. This too, I love this name of this documentary. It's New of Fur and Fang, featurette by Karen Stoltz. Now, I feel
Yeah,
like if Fur and Fang is like one of those stores you just find in one of those like cool little old towns, and it's like down the alley, and it's like this tiny little store that just sells furs and like weird like teeth. I don't
they
know.
just sell lycanthropy werewolf items. No,
Yeah, like
Karen Stoltz now is a co-host of a podcast I listen to called Monster Talk, which is a
really.
it's a great podcast. It's about cryptids. It's a cryptid podcast.
So there's one more podcaster that
Yeah.
got themselves on a
but
Blu-ray and not us.
she's really, really good on this one. So yeah, shout out to Karen Stoltz now, because
I literally
I'm a
think,
big fan.
yeah, no, and I'm not trying to take away anything from her, of course, but I could see like literally there could be a Blu-ray called The Civil Gorge Story, and they'd leave us off of it. I swear, at this rate.
Yes.
Anyway, the new Wolfbane Blooms Again, featurette by makeup artist David Elsley. Elsley. I added an L in there that wasn't there. Alternate endings and deleted scenes, and 4 additional featurettes. So that's pretty cool because a lot of new features on it. So I may have to buy this to get that upgrade. And it's Shout Factory, so you know it.
Yeah, that's a good upgrade for that one.
Yeah, I mean the version I had some good features on it, but I got to get this if it's got all these extra features on it. So
next up from Film Masters, we had a double pack, Creature with the Blue Hand and Web of the Spider. Those are from 1967 and 1971. Scotland Yard is after a homicidal maniac called the Blue Hand, which is what he used to kill his victims. This one has new 4K restorations of both films, commentary tracks for both films, the Bloody Dead 1987 film. I don't know if that's a short or a feature. I'm guessing it's probably a short. Essays by Christopher Stewartson and Nick Clark, an all-new documentary, and original and reimagined trailers. I threw that one on there because those little double packs of like those kind of obscure 60s, 70s films are kind of cool.
Plus, you know how the guy got the blue hand? He fell into one of those old toilets in the airplane, like Clark Griswold did in Vegas Vacation. So the best of the red, no steel books finally. So we just have the best of the rest. We have the Sixth Sense 4K 20th anniversary edition. Actually, all his movies are coming out. I'm surprised that wasn't. Oh yeah, there it is. Signs there too. I was gonna say I know I saw Signs and Sixth Sense for sure.
And those are new 4K restorations.
Yeah,
by the way.
new
Those
4K restorations. Both awesome movies, of course. Then there's Despiser Collector's Edition, and that is a documentary, for though you don't know, about Tim and his feelings towards Halloween Ends.
Exactly.
He's the Despiser. No, kidding. I don't even know what this is. There's no extra listed, but pre-order shows a bunch of cool stickers and things.
There was literally no extras
I don't
listed.
read these ahead of time sometimes, but
yeah, there's no extras listed, but the picture was so cool. There's like little stickers and a little poster. Nice. Like there's a bunch of stuff. They just never listed it. Even on their pre-order for Amazon, they didn't list the extras, so I couldn't put them on there.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, so you can't despise that at least. The Babadook 10th anniversary edition, that's gonna be in theaters. I saw too. Like they're gonna have like a limited night where they it hits in theaters again. Looks like, and that's just previous released extras. The thing with the Babadook is, I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but it was one of those things that like was a victim of. You're about to see the scary. Have you seen this? It's one of the scariest films ever. And they were hyping it to be so scary, to the point of where my sister-in-law, who was terrified of watching horror movies, said, "You got to tell me about it. I got to find out how scary it really is." And I'm like, I'm probably not going to be the best one to tell you, because I don't, I don't.
The scariest thing in that movie was the kid. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me. And I think that's in any criticism I could say is that it's not even the movie that got criticized. It's the people that's same people like, this movie is so frightening on Netflix, nobody finishes it. It's like something stupid. It's like
I rewatched this with Anna like not too long ago, and it didn't really hold up for me.
Oh, really? So
It
I
really,
haven't seen it since its initial release, and I mean, I
I,
have the Blu-ray of it, but
I mean, I liked it when it first came out. I thought it was creepy and everything, and the
yeah,
kid like was creeped me out more than the monster did. But when I rewatched it with Anna, I don't know, it didn't click with me this time. I don't know if I don't know. It's not one I really want to care to watch again, to be honest.
yeah. I feel like though they should have made like a some kind of like alternate thing called the Baba Duck, where it's like a little duck floats
Quack,
around and with a
quack,
little
quack.
hat. Yeah, you know. Then there's also we have this one's wow 1920 Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. This is a 4K restoration from 2014. The 4K to 1920 movie. That
Yeah.
that has got to been a labor of love for that one. Um, audio commentaries and collector's booklet. Actually, you know what? I would love to find out of like from someone that like does restorations. Is it easier to do a black and white restoration?
That'd
Because,
be
there's
interesting. Yeah.
obviously, you have two colors to choose. But um, then there's Hellraiser. This is another series that drives me insane. They just randomly put movies together like Hellraiser Quartet of Torment, and this one's 1987, 1986. It's Hellraiser 1 through 4. Now, granted, 1 through 4 is kind of like I get why those four are looped together. What I hate is when they'll do like, you're gonna get Hellraiser 1, 2, 6, and 8.
Yes.
You know, like I hate
Yeah.
when series do that. At least that one stuck together. And yes, 1 through 4 is its own kind of like
And if you're going to
thing.
buy any Hellraiser movies, 1 through 4 is probably where you should stop.
Yes, and then they go weird after
Yeah.
that. That's where they just started like making like other plots and like putting Pinhead in it, which just is inexcusable to me.
This title
Then
should have been a featured one but it had 0 extras on it. Such a bare bones
yeah,
disc.
and plus, well, actually, but I saw that there are some extras on
We're
one
talking
of the
about In a
pre-order
Violent
pages.
Nature, which just came
Yeah,
out.
yeah, there is some features on it. It may just not have been announced when you were looking through this, but I did see there's a couple of things. There's like I think there's a commentary or something and a
Oh,
couple of
okay.
behind the scenes stuff.
So
But
that one probably should have been featured, but that was
yeah,
a
well, I
big
know
release.
you weren't a big fan as I was, and they are working on a sequel, but you know, it
Yeah. I
automatically got
didn't
points
hate
because
it. I definitely
Laura
didn't
Marie
hate it.
Taylor was in it. But
Oh, she was incredible. Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't hate the movie. I think my hype level, I was a victim
yeah.
of my own hype on this one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think like that pretty saved me because you I think had poo-pooed it. I think at that point Emily had poo-pooed it a little bit. You know, you guys kind of had it downplayed, so I'm like, okay, well, let me go see. And I went in like expecting it to be bad. Now, granted, that's a movie I think we should have a feature on the show because I'd love to like discuss it. You know, like
I
really
want to
like
watch it
this.
again. I think I
Yeah,
want to see if I'm missing something. Maybe.
yeah, I want to. Well, it's on Shutter now, so that's good. You can watch it
Yeah.
again, of course. You know, included in your subscription. And you know what? I mean, well, I'll save this from when we talk about it. There's things I liked in there, of course. Like though, like what got it, you know, talked about is there's one specific kill in there that is actually really cool.
Yeah.
But I'll you know we'll go into it in another episode later. That could be a roundtable one. That'd be an interesting roundtable.
That would be a good round
Because I
table.
think now the only one that needs to see it in our group is Cone, so he needs to go see it. Then and the final is The Beast Within from 2024, and that's no extras also.
All right.
You know,
So
what
just
was coming out this month, but I don't see it on any of your lists. Was the what's that really good a Blackout? You know the Larry Fessenden vampire one we loved. I thought that
oh
was
yeah,
this
I
month.
didn't see
Maybe it's
that on
November.
any of the lists.
It could be November. I mean, I could be misspoken.
Yeah, some of these get pushed. So recap the features for this week of October 22nd. We had Oddity and Cuckoo, both came out this year. El Vampiro, Two Bloodsucking Tales from Mexico. Those are 1957, 1958 films. The Wolfman 4K from 2010 remake. And another twin pack, Creature with the Blue Hand and Web the Spider from 1967, 1971. That brings us to our final week, October 29th. And this was the big week, as you might expect. Some really good titles. Some that there's some even in the best of the rest that I think should have been featured. The first one up is from Vinegar Syndrome. This is a collector's edition of Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf 4K from 1985, which I really love this movie.
Yeah.
A young man whose sister is murdered by werewolves helps an investigator track down a gang of the beasts through the U.S. and Europe. This is a new 4K restoration, new commentary with Philippe Mora and Kelly Goodner, 2 archival commentary tracks, 9 archival interviews with cast, crew, and experts, trailer, still gallery, and a 20-page booklet with behind-the-scenes photos and essays. This is a crazy movie.
I'm gonna have to buy this now.
Yeah, it's a really good addition.
Yeah.
So
Plus, it has Plus, and this is not a bonus feature. This is in the movie. You get to see Sybil Danning rip her top off 17 times in a row in the
17
end
times.
credits. Which
It's such
we've
a
talked about
crazy
that.
movie.
Yeah, we talked
Oh,
about that when we did the Shine. Oh my God, what a franchise did that go off the rails? That was fun. That was a
yeah,
fun one to do, especially because literally one was a country music video. But yeah,
yeah.
but
This one's
go back and listen to last year's Halloween
yeah. It was such
retrospective of ours.
that was a fun series to go through for
It
sure.
really was. It was
was.
so it went so off the rails. It was crazy. Next one is another vinegar syndrome, and that's delirium. Photo of Goya. Did I say that right? I don't know.
I have no
4K.
idea. It's
So this
GIOIA. I have no idea
yeah,
how
maybe
you
it's
say that.
Goya. I don't know. The spaghetti horror storyline revolves around a former hooker, Grandy, running a successful men's magazine. An obsessed admirer systematically slaughters her models, occasionally increasing the magazine's output, and supplies the mistress with pictures of her disfigured corpses taken in front of her semi-nude posters visible in the background. Is she going to be the psycho's next victim?
I like the
This
term spaghetti horror. I'd never heard
yeah.
that. I heard spaghetti westerns, but not spaghetti horror.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but it's got a 4K restoration audio commentary with Eugenio Ercolini. Get out you do with it, even though he's not a film historian in this one. And Troy Howard. It's got Nightmare Delirium documentary and 10 plus interviews with cast and crew.
Next up from Arrow, this was a cool one. Trick or Treat 4K limited edition. This, of course, of
My
2007.
favorite movies
Michael
of all
Dougherty
time.
movie that we just absolutely love. It's
Yes.
a perennial watch. Every
Yes.
Halloween I watch this one. Dive into the sinister and darkly humorous world of Trick or Treat, written and directed by Michael Dougherty. This has a new 4K restoration, previously released archival interviews and featurettes, double-sided fold-out poster, 6 postcard art cards, and an illustrated collector's booklet. Most of the extras, if not all of the extras on here, are available on the edition you probably already have, but I did put this one on here because of the poster, the art cards, and the booklet, and it's a new 4K restoration. So,
Yeah. Definitely
good
by
time to
far one
jump
of
on
my
that one.
one of my favorite Halloween themed movies and one of my favorite anthologies because it's like one of those anthologies that just like basically you don't really know you're watching an anthology kind of thing, you know, it just kind of goes
Yeah, and I've got
through.
they did a comic book follow-up to Trick
So you
or
need to get
Treat
that.
that I've got. I was trying to look for it on my shelf there, that's why I was going away from the mic for a second, but yeah, it's a pretty cool, it's almost like Creepshow-esque. It's the same anthology series type graphic
Yeah,
novel they
it's
did.
just such oh, I gotta check that out.
I wish he would do
Next
the
one, oh my
sequel. Like, he's been talking about the sequel forever.
it's like, yeah, he's got the script and everything. He even showed a picture of it. He teased the script one day, but I think he's just tweaking it, he keeps saying, but I don't know. Next one, oh my God, is this a set I'm gonna need to buy now, I think.
This is
I
a
didn't even
awesome set. This is
yeah,
cool, so cool.
This is called J Horror Rising. It's vengeful ghosts returning from beyond the grave, young women with supernatural abilities, investigative narratives, a terror of technology, and an ominous aura of urban alienation and isolation marked a wave of horror and mystery films that emerged in Japan at the turn of the millennium, collectively labeled as J Horror. Remastered from the best available elements, packed with the host of new and archival extras, J Horror Rising presents 7 of the genre's most distinctive titles. Not to be confused with the J. Peterman Rising, which is the best Seinfeld episode. They actually, and so here's the films it includes. I mean, some classics here: Shokuku, a Sola, multiple personality girl. I'm gonna butcher these names. So Inugami, St. John's Wort. I think I've heard of that as a movie.
Yeah.
Carved, the Slit Mouth Woman. That's one I've always wanted to see. I've seen
Yeah.
like clips from it and stuff. Persona and Nori the Curse. Of course, that's probably the most known out of that group.
Yeah.
Audio commentaries for all films, which is cool. Interviews, featurettes, deleted scenes, image galleries, trailers, spots, and trailer and TV spots. So that is a great set from Arrow. I need to buy now.
Yeah, that's a really good box set. That was my box set pick of the week for sure. Next up is a cool one from Shout Factory. This is a Drag Me to Hell 4K collector's edition.
Another one
I
of my
love that
favorite
movie. It's from
movies.
2009. Christine Brown is on her way to having it all: a devoted boyfriend, a hard-earned job promotion, and a bright future. But when she's forced to make a tough decision that evicts an elderly woman from her house, Christine becomes the victim of an evil curse. Now she has only 3 days to dissuade a dark spirit from stealing her soul before he's dragged to hell for an eternity of thinkable torment. This one has a brand new 4K restoration, a new behind-the-scenes documentary, interviews with cast and crew, production video diaries, trailer and TV spots, and an image gallery. So nice little.
Another one that they keep teasing a sequel for too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love this one. I saw this in the theater. I watched it a bunch of times at home. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies.
This next one,
one is
Brian,
just-
that you're going to talk about, it to me is maybe the coolest feature disc we have up here, and I'm going to tell you
Yeah.
why once you read about it. But
Yeah.
this
So
one,
this. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
oh, no, I was just going to say it's one of those niche titles that like you just don't get to see unless you
Yeah.
buy it on Blu-ray. That's why I love
Yeah,
this so much.
which now I'm going to have to as I'm reading about it. But it's called, it's from Kino Lorber. It's the classic Ghosts from 1973. It says includes The Haunting of Rosalind, The Screaming Skull, which I think is on like every single like multiple pack. They used to throw that one on there, but still I want to see it. The Deadly Visitor, The House and the Brain, and The Bones Came Together, produced by primarily female creative team, airing on ABC from 1973.
Yeah,
So,
so
and
apparently
basically it's all new remasters and interviews. That's all the features, but
yeah, there's not a whole lot of extras on this one, but apparently these movies were teleplays that aired late nights in 1973, and they were primarily written and directed by women, and nobody's like seen these things in like forever. So like this is like the best chance to see these old movies that just aired on television. I think it's such a cool disc. Like of all the discs, surprisingly, out of all these this week
yeah.
that are so good, that one's the one that intrigues me the most because these movies were so hard to find. I bet you can't. I mean, I'm guessing you probably can't find these on streaming.
Probably
I
not.
haven't
Well,
looked.
I bet you the
but
Screaming Skull you can. That's probably the only one.
Screaming
I feel
Skull,
like
but I
I've
don't
seen
know.
that everywhere.
I'm not sure if they're. I mean, I know there's one movie called The Screaming Skull, but I don't think it's
Oh,
the
it's
same
not that one?
Yeah,
Oh, you're right. It could be
I'm
a
looking
different
up
one.
in real time because there was a 58 Screaming Skull, which I think that's
You're
the one you
right.
see everywhere.
Yeah, and I think I have it in one of my sets. There was
I've got a DVD. I've got that one on Blu-ray. Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah. So
yeah, I don't know.
well,
This one intrigued me a lot.
yeah, it's probably a different one. You're right. Next one, oh wait, no, you during the reissue. Sorry.
Oh yeah, just one reissue. I was Shocker 4K from 1989, which I still kind of have a fondness for this movie.
It's funny. So remember that podcast I just told you I discovered a couple weeks ago, the Queens of NC-17? They just did
Yeah.
Shocker, and they did an amazing job on it. It's really funny.
I like
You
this
got to
one.
listen to them if you haven't listened to them yet. Everyone, they do a really funny show.
I think I like this one because it's one of those like I would rent, like I rented when I was younger, like getting into horror. I don't know. There's like a nostalgia bent to it. It's not a great movie, but it's
one of those box art like memories that gets ingrained, I think, in your head.
There's a heavy nostalgia there.
Yeah, so the best of the rest, there's a bunch here. I'll try and go through them quickly, though. There's Cruel Britannia, the 3 killer thrillers from the UK, which includes Penny Gold, Craze, and Crucible of Terror with audio commentaries and interviews. I kind of like that a lot of this last week is all box sets.
Yeah, this box set was cool. This one probably could have been featured, but it does not have a lot of extras. It's just audio commentaries and interviews. But if you like kind of obscure 70s UK horror, this one was a cool box set for sure.
And then another one is we didn't need another cool box set here. We got the Dai Gothic Japanese Ghost Stories from 1959 to 68, and that includes 4 movies. It looks, 3 movies. The Ghost of Yotsuya, The Bride from Hades, and The Snow Woman. And it has interviews, commentaries, 6 postcards, and an 80-page book. So there's another.
Yeah,
this is like
really
this seriously. This last week will cost you like $500.
Yeah,
if you want to buy all the cool stuff. Then there's The Walking Dead, which is not Tim's Walking Dead that he can't stand anymore. It's the Walking Dead 1936 Boris Karloff film, which is a new 4K remaster. Then there's Return of Dr. X from 1939, another 4K restoration. Another one, The Beast with 5 Fingers from 1946. Then there's Hotel, the 20th anniversary edition. Wasn't that a TV show? 2004, new 4K restoration with audio commentary. Raccoon, which I'm dying to see. It's in the vein of Cocaine Bear. Then there's Spirit Riser, 2024. That's got a commentary and interviews trailer. Baby Blood 4K, which from 1990. It's a new 4K restoration audio commentary. Circus of Horrors 4K, which I think I have that set. 1960, new 4K restoration and audio commentary. Dogra Magra.
Which I forgot to put the year on that one. I think it's a Japanese movie.
Yeah. Audio commentary interviews booklet. And then there's Asylum of Terror from 1998 with commentary interviews of 2 short films and a trailer. And finally, Flesh Freaks from 2000 includes a bonus movie and short films.
Yeah, that Flesh Freaks, I don't know much about the movie, but that was actually a really good set. It did include a bunch of short films and an entire bonus movie. So if you're an extras freak, that was actually a really, really good one. So yeah, just to review what we had for the last week of October, our big releases here were Howling 2, Your Sister's Werewolf 4K. That's a great Vinegar Syndrome edition. Delirium Photo of Gioia 4K from 1987. If you don't have Trick or Treat, I'd highly recommend getting this limited edition from Arrow from 2007. Incredible box set J Horror Rising from Arrow. That includes 7 films, 7 J Horror films. Shout Factory's Drag Me to Hell 4K Collector's Edition, which is a nice little upgrade to that movie. And then kind of my personal favorite of all these, which is the Kino Lorber, the Classic Ghosts 1973, which is 3 kind of obscure ABC television horror teleplays that were aired only in 1973. So yeah, that's it for the month of October. So I thought there were some great titles this month. I know we didn't cover everything in complete in depth, but I thought there were some kind of cool box sets and things out here, and a lot of anniversary editions of stuff, which was kind of crazy. How many things are hitting anniversaries this year?
Yeah, really good stuff. So I think this will be just for you listening to this. This will be the only episode this week, just because we had a lot of stuff going on. But next week we'll have a better because I'm going to be going to Universal Horror Nights, so I'll have that whole recap. Hopefully, get some good video and pictures and stuff. But I'll also try and keep while I'm there. I'll keep posting some footage and stuff and sending stuff on our Instagram and Twitter and stuff. But we'll do a recap of that, of course, and then we have a bunch of other screeners we got that I think we could talk about then, and we're still working on a couple of other interviews that are in the pipeline here that we need to just touch base with everybody, and then we need to do our we're gonna have also coming up is our roundtable Chainsaw Award preview, because that's coming up really fast. Then we'll also do of course by now you'll be probably our horror channel. As you're listening to this, today is the first day to start watching all those movies you researched for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I hope you found someone eating sushi.
I found one. I did find one.
Yeah, no, I found one too. And I think Cody found one also. And I think
probably all found the same one, probably.
Yeah, it's the taco carne one for this year. In fact, one year we just need to do the taco carne challenge and just somehow honor that movie.
Yeah.
Actually, it was Carne the Taco Maker. We call it Taco Carne, but it was really Carne the Taco Maker.
Carne the Taco Maker.
I don't know how it became Taco Carne, but you get over Taco Carne? I'll never get over Taco Grande or whatever. Taco Carne. Anyway, so we'll wrap it up.
Yep. You guys have a fabulous October. We are looking forward to talking more horror in the month of horror. So stay tuned for more content, and we'll see you back here soon.
See y'all.